What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, I want to compare the new Studio Series 86 Voyager class Thundercracker mold that was just revealed at SDCC 2025 next to the 2020 Earthrise Voyager class Seeker mold of Thundercracker, comparing two Thundercrackers here. So let's get down into the nitty gritty here. So let's talk about the robot modes. There's a lot improved here. And frankly, I'm doing this video too because it seems like there's a lot of people that don't really understand the differences. And, you can look it up for yourself, but I want to do a dedicated video since it's a hot topic in the community right now. And I want to get you guys my thoughts out there on this Seeker mold more in depth here. So just looking at the two, look at the inaccuracies on that original Earthrise figure. He's missing wrist swivel, waist swivel. The ball jointed head is pretty bad in terms of mobility. With a flying character, you want him to look up at least a little bit. I don't remember that head having good articulation at all. This one, it looks like it might. We're not sure on that, but he definitely has wrist swivel. Looks like he's going to have a waist swivel. The overall proportions of him look a hell of a lot better, and the details look way better than that Earthrise figure. Some people don't like the greebling and the extra details on those War for Cybertron trilogy figures. I don't mind it. I think it adds a lot of depth and detail to these designs, but you get less of that here, which I guess is a plus if you want more cartoon accuracy, so there's that as well. Overall, this robot mode, it looks so much more sleeker. Like, this original Earthrise Thundercracker mold looked so chunky and just disproportionate to how the design is supposed to be, because we know that they were trying to go for a bit more animation accuracy back during War for Cybertron trilogy as well a few years ago. Even though it's not really a few years ago, it was 5 years ago. Anyway, who said that? Time flies. So this thing is just bad looking. Like, even the null rays on the new one look so much better. The head sculpt looks a lot more accurate. Like, the Earthrise one just looked like a more dinky, upscaled Classics Seeker mold. Like, he even had the whole nose cone just hanging off the back of the figure, ruining the silhouette and design. You could even see part of the nose cone, I think, in some of these images when you're even looking at the front of the figure. You don't even have to turn the figure around and you can see some of the nose cone. So that's insane. The midsection is a lot more sleeker, slim, accurate to the cartoon model. Everything about this guy. Like, he's less chunky, more proportionate, and just looks a lot more streamlined. And I gotta say, Hasbro, they did it. Now, let's talk about the F-15 vehicle mode here. The colors seem to be a bit more darker here. I don't know which one is more accurate, like the lighter colors or the darker colors, because it seems like he's been drawn both in, like, the cartoon, so I could be wrong on that, but I don't know. In terms of the color scheme for this vehicle mode, I don't know, I gotta go with the new one, because the darker color scheme, it just looks a bit more imposing and menacing as a Decepticon character, so I do like that improvement with the colors here. And it looks like there's gonna be a bit less of kibble on him. Like, you could see with the Earthrise one, there was a lot more chest visible. With the new one, it looks a bit more slender at the bottom of the jet, and there's not a lot of stuff hanging and extending downwards from the bottom of the jet, which would ruin the silhouette and look, and ruin the whole robots in disguise angle of these Transformers figures. So I do feel like they're hiding the vehicle mode bits just a little bit better. It's not perfect still. I mean, with these jet formers, there's always going to be kibble hanging off the bottom that give it away. Oh, look! There's random robot bits at the bottom of this jet. Surely this is an alien robot and not a robot in disguise. So there's always going to be that angle to these jet formers, especially with Hasbro figures that's not Takara Masterpiece or especially third-party Masterpiece. So, you can't really escape that. So I'm not really docking the figure for that, because it is slightly improved over the Earthrise figure. So overall, the sleekness of this jet, they did good with the Earthrise mold. I really do feel like that jet mode was probably the best we got for F-15 Starscream from Generations. But I don't know, just something about this new one looks a bit more, I guess you could say animation accurate, but just something about it looks fresher. I don't know if it's a new figure and the other one is 5 years old at this point, or if it's just because the figure is engineered better, the shapes are done better, the details are better. I don't know exactly, but just something about it just pops and just feels a bit more, I guess you could say, angular and more aggressive and kind of accurate to the proportions of the F-15 jet. I could be wrong, but I don't know, it just looks better to me with the jet mode. A little bit, not like a crazy amount better, but it does seem like a bit of an improvement here in jet mode. But overall, especially that robot mode is a huge improvement, guys. I may get this when it comes out next year, and I'm excited to see how that Skywarp and Starscream recolor is going to look. I believe Hasbro said, too, that they're all going to have different head sculpts, so that's going to be exciting to see all the different expressions on this body mold, along with the new color schemes. So either way, sign me up for this new Secret mold. It looks fantastic. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think about this new Secret mold from Studio Series 86? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!